What's up, everyone? Welcome to the pod. We are back again after another exciting weekend of college and NFL football. You know, the boys are back in town. We got Corey out in Charlotte. We got Terence. We got Dre up in PG. And we got Esquire Dave. So, after another exciting week of NCAA football, another poll has rolled through. Terence, let us know who is in the top 25, what changes have arrived, and what's going on.
Yeah, so um, Georgia, after struggling for a half, they're still number one. They had 57 first place votes. Michigan at two. I mean, Michigan, we don't really know much about Michigan so far. I am very curious to see what they look like. Texas jumped Florida State, no surprise. I'm a Seminole fan, but we play like hot shit on Saturday. I'm surprised we're even still in the top five. That was pathetic performance in Boston College. How do you almost blow a 31-10 lead to Boston College? Like, you come out unfocused. You're clearly looking ahead to Clemson next week. You start off the game like some shit. Okay, then you finally play like Florida State. You got up 31-10. It's like y'all just completely stopped playing. Then you almost got beat to an inferior opponent. Like, I understand they're doing the tribute to the 9/11 dude that ran into the buildings with the red bandana. That's why they had on those custom Sioux jerseys or whatever you want to call it on Saturday at Boston College. But that's unacceptable, bro. And I'm gonna say this right now: Mike Norvell might not be on the hot seat, but the more Deion wins, the more pressure's on Mike Norvell to keep winning. This is a team that entered the season top 10. This is a team that many people predicted to go to the college football playoff.
Yep.
They look like shit on Saturday. And no disrespect to Boston College, but this is Florida fucking State. Like, god damn it, like we got NFL dudes all across the board on the D line, at the receiving core, at quarterback, at running back. Trey Benson better be careful because he might lose his spot if he keeps tap dancing instead of hitting the fucking hole. Johnny Wilson catch the fucking ball. Like, if these niggas lose to Clemson on Saturday, I am giving up on football.
Oh my goodness, boy!
No, come on, man.
I am giving up on
Can't let it
football.
happen.
I am giving up on football already before the end of September. The Panthers ain't doing me nothing. We're gonna get started on that in a second. But if Florida State loses to Clemson this week, if they can't beat this Clemson team, when is it gonna happen? All right, back to the top 25. I had to get that off. USC at 5. Ohio State's at 6. We'll find out about Ohio State when they play Notre Dame on Saturday.
Yeah.
Oregon takes on Oregon at 10. They take on Colorado. We'll find out if Colorado is really built in the trenches because Colorado State kind of exposed them in the trenches a little bit. Then now they're going to play against a team with better skill players, better quarterback play, better athletes. Utah at 11, they're kind of just creeping up and hanging around. LSU at 12, which I wish BT was on, but he just got back from vacation. LSU has jumped Alabama. Alabama is at 13. If FSU played like dog shit, Alabama played even worse on Saturday. They have no quarterback at all. I see why Alabama was trying to pay Drake May $5 million to go to Alabama.
Yeah, they're SOL at QB, man. They're SOL. You bench Jalen Monroe, and then you're gonna have to go back to him.
Exactly.
Yeah, but to sum up the rest of the top 25, I mean, no surprises. I mean, Oklahoma at 16, UNC's at 17, Duke is kind of surprising at 18, one spot ahead of Colorado. Colorado got bumped down a spot in the AP poll. I mean, they were 23-point favorites against Colorado State, but rivalry games, you can always take that with a grain of salt. Miami is moving up to 20. Miami's playing good football. I can't even hate on Miami. They're playing good football. Tennessee dropped 12 spots to 23.
Trash.
Kind of surprised they're even still in the top 25. Florida moved up to 25. Don't get me started on Florida.
Trash.
And
everything you're saying is trash. Everything you're saying right now is so trash, bro. That game was trash. Tennessee fell for that same trap again. I can't believe that shit.
They haven't won in They haven't won in Gainesville in 20 years. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Crazy.
Golly, man.
That is crazy.
That's crazy.
It's
That's wild.
kids that have grown up.
And they called that joint too. But I was like, there's no way like this Florida team can possibly beat this Tennessee team. And Lord behold, not only did they just beat them, they was waxing them on that Saturday afternoon. I was like, you got Bama's fighting at the end of the game and shit, like, or not fighting, throwing shadow hands because nobody was connecting on shit. We ain't gonna call if you ain't connecting. If you ain't connecting, we ain't calling that a fight, man. Y'all just throwing some butterfly hands, man. That's what y'all doing out there.
But yeah, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I was half asleep, I overslept. But talk about Florida State. That shitty performance got me fired up now. So let's go ahead and look at these games for the week. Of course, Florida State taking on Clemson, high noon. It's going to be very interesting because FSU just played in a bad weather game. They're calling for rain on Saturday in Death Valley. It's going to be 70 degrees, but it's going to be rain. It's going to be that could help Clemson out because FSU did not look good in sloppy weather in Boston College. Let's see, at 3:30, Colorado going to Oregon. It's going to be a very interesting game. They're actually giving Oregon a 21-point spread.
I believe it.
Now,
I can see
it might be more. It might be more.
Now, Oregon's at 10. Colorado's at 19. Oregon's at 10. It's only a 9-spot difference. Really not that much. But it'd be a 21-point spread is crazy.
That is crazy.
I guess they
good game. Oh, go ahead, Trey. My fault.
No, I'm just thinking I guess they're assuming can Colorado offense keep up with Oregon's offense because that's the only way Colorado. That's the only way Colorado's going to be in this game because we've seen it in all three games, and I know the defense. Quote-unquote, kind of look better against Nebraska, but that's because Nebraska put out there a horrible QB, so they was able to get away with a lot of stuff they wasn't able to against TCU and Colorado State. Colorado State was beating up that defense with the same fucking shallow rock concept throughout the whole game, and then your D coordinator or anybody really did anything about it. Honestly, if it wasn't for those two plays by Shallow, they would have lost that game. Shallow really impacted that game. So you thinking when you go against a top 10 team on the road, and then one of your best defensive players, one of your best players, period, is not even going to be in that game. So it's that's a lot to overcome at this point. And maybe the spread might be a little too high, but I'm just thinking if Shedeur and that Colorado offense don't keep up with Oregon, then it's going to get ugly for them because them linebacker core for Colorado is not stepping up, and the D line not getting to the quarterback like that either. So so it's really on the DBs.
I would say this about Colorado's DC. He was a former FSU defensive coordinator with Jimbo Fisher back in 2014. He came on after we won the national championship. When we won the national championship, we had Jeremy Pruitt, who ended up being a coach at Tennessee and also a D coordinator at Alabama. He was only at FSU 1 year the year we won the championship. So Charles Kelly came in, replaced Jeremy Pruitt, and the defense went like this. With Jalen Ramsey, with Ronald Darby, with other Marcus Joyner. No, actually Joyner graduated, but you still had Darby, you still had PJ Williams, you still had Jalen Ramsey, and then also some of the D linemen that we had. Then the next year, you bring in a Derwin James, Charles Kelly, yeah. Back to the schedule before we talk more about the Colorado game. So sneaky good game. Number 22 UCLA is at number 11 Utah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one.
That's gonna be a sneaky.
We got the 3:30 slate is crazy, y'all.
Ole Miss at Alabama,
Colorado, Oregon, Ole Miss, Alabama, UCLA, Utah. This 3:30 slate is crazy. Oregon State versus Washington State. The Pac-12 continues to put out great matchups every week. And then the big one is at 7:30. Number 6 Ohio State. Number 9 Notre Dame. Ohio State is currently 3-point favorites. They're calling for rain in that game. It'll be very interesting to see who can handle the elements better in that game. And then last ranked opponent, we have number 24 Iowa, 14.5-point underdogs to Penn State.
It's going to be a closer game.
Yeah, those Big Ten games are always closer than the spread. Especially, I was one of them teams where they're going to muck that shit up.
They're gonna muck that shit because their defense is legit. Like you probably not going to hear about anybody until it gets closer to like the NFL draft. But you like just watching Big Ten football over the years, it's like Iowa. That's just a different team, man. Like that's a draft king.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Iowa's always a tricky team to play. They always have some weird defensive concept that works, and then going to Iowa is always like a trap game.
Hey, but
games at Happy Valley.
But Iowa's gonna give Penn State problems, even though it's at Happy Valley, though.
I was about to say, although at Happy Valley,
I think at least for a half they're gonna give them problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the story of college football right now, Deion Sanders came out and actually defended Henry Blackburn, the DB who took out Travis Hunter with a late hit, unnecessary hit. It was clearly after the play. Travis Hunter is now out 3 to 4 weeks with a lacerated liver. Fortunately, with that could have been worse. Could have led to a lot of internal bleeding, but fortunately, it didn't go to that because it could have been a lot worse for Travis Hunter. But fortunately, he's okay. But Blackburn has received death threats from numerous people. He's been called out by numerous athletes, celebrities who are fans of Colorado, which I don't think helped the situation as far as him receiving those threats. But this type of stuff happens all the time in sports, unfortunately. But Deion had to come out and say that the team's moved on. Travis Hunter has moved on. Travis Hunter came out and pretty much said he's moved on from the hit. So
yeah,
it was a dirty hit. Now let's not get it twisted. It was late.
Yep.
I felt like it was targeted because Travis Hunter was talking a lot of shit to players from Colorado State before the game.
Yeah.
I felt like it should have been at least targeted. Now suspension, I won't go that far because this is football, man. Like people call for him to be suspended 3 or 4 games. Let's get fucking real for a second, y'all. This is football, man. Like, I can understand calling for him to be, thrown out of the game for targeting and missing the rest of the game, maybe a quarter or half of the next game, but that should be it. Like he didn't hit him in the head.
I need something though because we gotta send a message for dirty. Like we know there's rivalry games and it gets heated, but they still play in between the lines. Like that was just blatant. Because what if it was like Shador on a scramble and he went for his knees? Because that seemed like that's the type of time he was on. Like he wasn't going just to smack someone. He was going to really try to take you out. Yeah. And that was my only problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my only and that's my only problem with it. And that's my only problem with it. Like it is clear as day because the play bent over and he was like, "Nah, this is my he's wide open. This is my chance to get him."
He had a chance. He ran about maybe 3/4 across the field and the ball went out of bounds. And I don't really understand what your purpose was because one, you could have slowed down anyway, and then there was another DB already making a play on the ball, and even if Travis Hunter caught it or whatever, he was most likely going to go out of bounds anyway. So what are you even doing? It was intentional, man. It was all intentional.
Because my problem with it is for me, it just seemed like the coach was commended it. Like you seen him smirk on the sidelines, and then his comment, he was like, that's just football. Like he didn't really try to say we need to talk to him about and we can't be having that type of stuff. He was just saying he was all right with it, and that's my whole issue with it. It was he knew what was going to happen before it happened, and he was like, "Hey, it knocked him out of the game. We're getting close to upsetting on front of all his fans, all these people, all these celebrities that came to that game." Yeah. Novell, that was the only thing he was thinking about, so that's why he was with. So I was
Deion effect.
Yeah, I mean, since we're talking about Coach Novell, man, hold on 1 second, bro.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Yeah, Dave, put them hater blockers on.
Come on, man.
Well, you know what time it is.
I can't really see y'all like that, but y'all see me though. So, man, look, Coach Norvell, bro. Since we talking about we take off our sunglasses, we take off our glasses and our hats when we talk to adults. Since I'm talking to since we talking about a baby back bitch named Jay Norvell, gonna put my shades and my hoodie on. Like all I got, like what I really got to say about this game is they lost. Colorado State came to play. They came to play. In a rivalry game, you gotta just throw out history and rankings and all that out the window. Colorado State came to play. That kid Torrey Horton, yeah,
He needs to be a Carolina Panther.
He looked like NFL.
Played nice.
He looked like NFL.
I'm not. Sorry, I wasn't familiar with your game, Torrey. You nice, but 17 penalties for 187 yards, bro. It's the reason why Colorado State lost this game.
A lot of personal foul penalties.
A lot of personal foul. There were a lot of times, even in overtime, when they could have, held Colorado to a field goal. There was a late hit on the quarterback. There was a personal foul or some type of penalty that made you lose this game. And what I have said before on this episode on this show is that this, like, penalties and all these things are a reflection of coaching. All these little intricate details of a team are a reflection of coaching. And to me, that amount of, I think the average amount of penalties, even in a college football game, is like 8, maybe 8 or 9, maybe 10, maybe. Yeah, you get 17, and I get it's a rivalry game, but the coach did not reel in his guys early enough. And
both sides, honestly, because that first quarter was atrocious.
Both sides.
That first quarter, I had to turn that first quarter because it was just getting out of hand. I was like, all right, let's just get playing football.
Yeah, they're not playing football in that first quarter. The first quarter was a lot of emotion and anger and just, I'm going to go out here and try to hit this person as hard as I can with no technique, no sense of this is my job and what I need to do to keep the game in the lines.
Right. And things didn't really settle down into the second half at all.
I was just about to, exactly, Corey. I was just about to say that they didn't settle down to really the second half. Right. The second quarter was just as sloppy as the first quarter. And then finally, I think when both teams tried to settle down, and I say try because I go back to Dave's point, 18 penalties, and I think 8 or 9 of them are personal foul, 15-yard penalties, and you expect to win a rivalry game against a team that you clearly know has better athletes than you. Now, granted, Horton and that other D lineman, respect to y'all too because you played your butts off. Although I know that D lineman got ejected late for hitting Shador in overtime, but both of them played a hell of a game.
Now, hold on, y'all. Let's be now. Shador we ain't gonna he poked. Shador literally poked.
He did.
Poke the bear.
He did poke somebody in his eye.
Yeah. This is back to the previous point, man. Jay Norvell, to me, represents the old way of doing coaching college football. Deion represents.
Bum ass.
Oh man, Corso's a corpse. But anyway,
put that man on my TV screen. Can we let Pat McAfee do the headgear now?
Lee Corso, your ass need to retire. It is over.
You've done.
It has been a career. It is over.
400 headgears, bro. It's time.
It is over.
You've done 400 of them. We love you. Just go retire.
Just
go to the sunset.
Go golf and go do something else.
That's all he has, y'all. Let him go out and play.
That's really y'all. Real talk though. Dre is right though. When you're old and this is all you do. That's all you have, man. Once you lose that, I'm not even being joking, bro. We seen it when Joe Paterno left Penn State. He went out a disgraceful way, but when he left Penn State, he died literally a couple weeks later. It wasn't long. That's all he had. So I mean, Dre do bring a great point, but back to the original point. Now we're getting a little off topic.
Sorry.
Jay Norvell, old way of coaching. Deion Sanders, new way of coaching. Mm-hmm. This was more than a college football game. This was way more than a college football game, and it's crazy because Jay Norvell, you are black.
The thing that got me is
this whole respectability politics is go ahead, Dave. Cook.
The thing that got me is that and then they mentioned this during the broadcast, and I saw a little bit during Norvell's podcast, Norvell's press conference, which I think was kind of like a live press conference a few days before the game. But how in one breath you say, this rival, this game is, an historic moment because it's the first time that two black head coaches are coaching in this football game, and then in another breath you like disrespect Deion, saying like, oh, like I take off my hat and my glasses when I talk to adults, and you're insinuating that Coach Sanders ain't raised right, and even like Coach Prime like mentioned that in the pregame speech before. So it's just weird to me like how you say that and then you like throw it like a little jab about right that like.
You know why? Because Jay Norvell has no power. Jay Norvell is the voice for the white boosters of Colorado State.
Ooh.
His sentiments might not even be his own sentiments. He was speaking for those boosters, those alums who want to do things the old way. All this respectability politics and all that other crap that Jay Norvell is projecting. Who knows? That might be who he is, but he's really a mouth for the old way of doing things. And he is jealous because Deion can do what the fuck he wants. And there's not one person at Colorado that can stop Deion. Not the president, not the boosters, not the alum.
They gave him free reign.
They really gave him free reign to do whatever.
I mean,
they need Deion way more than Deion needs them.
Yeah,
exactly.
And
the football program was that bad. The
1-11.
program was that bad.
1-11.
The university was in trouble. Fuck.
There was restaurants and stuff downtown near Boulder, like shutting down during football season because they didn't have patrons, they didn't have customers.
Yeah,
Deion came to town. You can't get a hotel room in Boulder, Colorado when they're playing a game now. Game tickets now going for $400 in the nosebleeds. Them people are loving it.
517, bro. 517.
Like that economy is booming. Deion does not need them. He would have did this anywhere else. He would have went.
That USC game about to go crazy.
It's the Deion effect.
I'm so upset, bro, because I'm gonna be in Boulder and I'm coming like the day after the USC game, bro.
Oh, it's tough.
I'm so upset, bro. I can't.
You would went to a 9 a.m. game day. You would went to that 9 a.m. game.
If there was a way I could finesse it, yeah, bro, yeah, I would finesse it, bro. I would.
I mean, Terence, you talked about the ratings before when it came to the why Florida State wanted to leave the ACC. I think I saw somewhere on social media where this was like one of the highest
most watched games on ESPN. Regular season games on ESPN. Yeah.
And the game didn't into
for Colorado State versus Colorado, bro. Yeah. Yes. For Colorado State versus Colorado.
Niggas stood up to 2:30.
2:30.
Yeah, bro.
There's literally only a few teams in the country that are doing numbers like that. Alabama, Texas, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Florida State, Miami when they're good. And I don't mean that disrespectfully, but when Miami's good, it's good for business. That's why the ACC wants Miami to really do good, so that FSU Miami game in November can do numbers.
But, they're gonna try to flex it to prime time.
Yeah, that's gonna be that would be a prime time game if Miami continues to do what they do and FSU wins. That'll be game day will be there.
I'm about to say game day might be there. If the records are right, the game day will be there.
I'm trying to think who else. USC
when
they're good.
Yeah.
So Deion is literally doing numbers that traditional blue bloods that have been around for years are doing. So Deion is really changing the landscape of college football, and that's what that game was about. Now, another topic in college football. We got time.
Sorry. Before we move on, man, there was a certain commentator that did that game that night.
Oh my God!
Oh God!
I'm sorry. I just need 1 minute.
Go ahead, Dave. ISO.
I just need 1 minute, man. This lame ass excuse for a commentator, Mark Jones, was doing the game Saturday night, man, and this nigga had the nerve to have some bars like, "Oh, it looked like the BET Awards out here because you got Offset and Lil Wayne, performing and bringing the Colorado Buffaloes out." Come on, man. Hey, Mark Jones, do us a favor, bro. You Canadian jive turkey. Do us a favor. Do us a favor. Leave the bars to the Savs. Leave the bars to the Esquire.
Hold on, he's Canadian?
Yeah, he's from Toronto. He's from Toronto. He's from Toronto.
Hold on, time out. Because this is bad. A nigga from Canada came up with LeBron.
It's very bad, yes. It's very bad. He came up with LeBron. So this is why I got to get my shit off. This is why I get my shit off.
Wow.
Hey,
Mark, that Benedict Arnold ass motherfucker over there.
Spineless piece of shit.
What?
Hey, y'all see why I have beef, bro? Y'all see why I have beef?
I was not hip.
Hey, but look, Mark Jones, this for your ass. This for your ass, Mark Jones. Look, leave the bars to the Savs. Your bars are weaker, your flows are cheaper, and they might as well follow the leader because my bars are louder than Sherman Hensley from the Jeffersons. They're like, yo, look, you can't fuck with this, man. That's all I gotta say. Carry on, bro. Next time.
Whoa. Okay. Damn. Okay.
Hey, Sherman Hensley, God rest his soul.
Okay, man.
Oh my God.
Bars.
Before that ISO, I was gonna talk about the SEC, but okay. Wow.
SEC is Georgia and maybe LSU, and that's it. Because Alabama ain't got no
I'll be
QB.
rich,
They ain't in it.
Georgia did not look good against South Carolina. Now, my question to y'all, and each of y'all can answer this: is it possible that the SEC might not get one team in the playoff? Because I actually see a path for that to happen.
It can happen. But it's just like
it's really Georgia or bust.
Because the problem is, I can see LSU looks like they got the best QB in the conference right now. So just off that, he might be able to make the difference maker of why LSU goes far. They still got a lot of tough games ahead, but to me, they got to win out. But to me, they look like they got the QB that could possibly do it. Alabama, they're going to lose another game or two because of QB play. They're not going to be able to make it. Georgia can't lose at the wrong time. Because if everybody in different conferences are winning out, and the SEC already like I said, they were like 5-1, 4-1 to the ACC alone, so that's going to come into play when they do like these playoff rankings too. It's like y'all not even better than the top teams in the ACC. Like everybody, y'all went up against each other, lost to a ACC team. So it's like, and then like Texas went out. USC went out in the Pac-12, and then who else we can throw in there? Like maybe Ohio State or Michigan.
Yeah,
like those four. That's the four legitimate teams right there. That by the end of the season could be better than if Georgia slips and lose like a game or two because they just don't look that strong.
I will say it can happen. It can happen where SEC don't get a team in.
I don't see it, but it's gonna happen.
It's definitely possible, bro.
It can happen, but I don't see it happening.
Let Georgia lose to Tennessee, and then everybody.
I don't got no faith in Tennessee no more. I ain't even worrying about that shit.
I mean, like it can.
I ain't got that.
No,
that can happen. That game is on the road.
That game is
in Tennessee. It is not in Georgia. Last year was in Georgia. This year it's in Tennessee.
And that's
Georgia has been known.
That's Georgia's only game that's like a strong you know, that's a strong.
Okay. Here's Georgia's schedule. They play UAB on Saturday, which is absolutely pathetic.
Wait a minute.
Ass whooping.
Yo,
you just started playing SEC. No, they gotta stop.
They played South Carolina last week, and now you're playing UAB.
They played UAB. They played Ball State. They played UAB. We might as well count Vanderbilt as an out of conference because who the fuck plays football at Vanderbilt? Like,
all right, so on the 30th they play at Auburn. But this ain't your dad's Auburn team.
No, man, this is the bottom of the SEC West Auburn. Like, it's not like no.
All the Auburn players are in Oregon.
Georgia, you have to win out if you want
to. Shout out to Damari Austin.
Then they play Kentucky at home, at Vanderbilt. Who gives a fuck?
Come on,
then they play Florida the last Saturday of October. Now, I don't think Florida is. I don't think Florida's going to beat them. Georgia's going to stop ETN. Travis is ETN's little brother. Georgia's going to stop him. Missouri had a nice win versus Kansas State, but the game is in Athens. Ole Miss, Ole Miss.
Is that a trap game
at Tennessee? No, I don't know. I gotta see Ole Miss versus Alabama on Saturday before I put any stock in them versus Georgia. At Tennessee and then at Georgia Tech. I mean, Georgia Tech. Really, like, come on now.
So literally,
so no LSU, no Alabama, no Texas A&M. Like they avoid all that shit unless they see them in the SEC championship game. Georgia, that's weak as hell. Georgia, you're still weak as hell.
Lose one because their schedule.
I understand. There's a lot of new guard going on in your program, but that schedule weak as hell, man. I'm sorry, that's pathetic. How you playing UAB after South Carolina?
Yeah,
you just had 3 preseason games. Like, stop it.
You had Ball State, Tennessee, Martin,
4, 5, 6.
You had Ball State, Tennessee, Martin, and UAB, and the only team you played that's worth mentioning is South Carolina.
And you only won by 10.
Now
they were down 14-3. Like that game. Yeah,
you were down at halftime.
That's why I'm like they're going to struggle against some of these teams. They're going to struggle.
Yeah, real quick before we move on. So I'm looking at LSU's schedule real quick. It's not as bad as their normal schedule, to be honest with you. They played Florida State. You beat one Mississippi. You got Arkansas. Then you play at Ole Miss at the end of September. It could be a tricky game. But Ole Miss plays Bama this Saturday. Then have to play LSU next Saturday. Jesus Christ. Damn, Lane Kiffin.
That's life in the West. That's life in the West. That's real. That's real calm. That's life in the West.
At Missouri, they play at Missouri. Missouri is a decent football team, but it's kind of a sneaky game though because you play at Ole Miss and then you have Auburn afterwards, which is a rivalry game. But that Missouri game is in between, so that could be a sneaky game. But I think LSU should be fine. Then they play Auburn. They play Army before they play Alabama. Like, how does that happen?
That's a tune-up game.
Hey man, these SEC schedules are hilarious, bro.
Tune-up games.
These coaches know what they're doing, bro. Like,
they really know what they've been doing.
They know what they're doing.
Keep going because there's another tune-up game before a rivalry game. I
just
saw that.
And then they play Florida after Alabama. After they go to Bama, they play Florida at home. Then they play Georgia State before they play A&M. Like
another tune-up game. Who makes these SEC schedules, man?
Hey, bro, they know what they're doing, bro.
Hey, just get right. We got one. Just get right.
They know what they're doing. They're gonna fuck around.
Army does not need a paycheck.
They're gonna fuck around. One of these games gonna be a trap game, bro.
It is. Because this whole weekend was a trap game. It was a trap game all weekend because everybody was like looking ahead to next week. So that's why it was a lot of spreads were hurt.
Yeah.
A lot of spreads were hurt this weekend because
Bama's
were rocking.
Though.
They might
definitely run the table.
Yeah, my Bama play looking iffy now because I thought Alabama was going to come back with revenge, but they ain't got no QB to have revenge with. So, like, that shit.
Chaos theory might work if LSU runs the table and can beat Georgia in the championship game. Then LSU makes it, and an undefeated Florida State team would make it if they can beat Miami and if they can win the ACC championship game. Looking at Florida State's schedule, that's really the only thing that's holding up Florida State.
If Florida State runs the table, they in. So they're
I'm about to say they in if they run
the table. Because not only Miami's ranked, Clemson could be ranked even after they lose. Well, I won't say they don't lose, but if they lose this week, they can still finish 9-10 wins possibly. You play Miami, who could be possibly a top 15 team by then, depending on what Miami does. And then you might play UNC or Miami again in the ACC championship game, and then you still have Florida on the schedule as well. So if Florida State runs the table, they're in.
Yeah, there's no way around that.
There's no way around that. And then I think Ohio State and Michigan is just an eliminator.
Especially,
game. It just depends on
that's what it is. If they stay undefeated.
Yeah. The thing that's going to help Florida State is if LSU keeps winning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that helps Florida State. Yeah.
Because the committee will remember how they dominated them in the fourth quarter of the game. But it's going to be very interesting. We're going to find out a lot about Ohio State on Saturday when they play at Notre Dame. Definitely looking forward to that game because I don't trust Ohio State's quarterback yet. Yeah, I don't like neither one of those teams, but
yeah, fuck both of them personally.
Somebody gotta lose. Well, honestly, fuck them both.
I wish both can lose, but yeah.
Now we transition to the pros.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get straight to the point, man. The Panthers, this offense is atrocious.
Oh my God.
The Carolina Panthers, I hate to say it, bro.
Look, man.
Y'all got it.
No, go
The
ahead.
Carolina Panthers have the worst passing game in the NFL right now. They're dead last in passing yards per game. They're at the bottom of points per game. It was not good on Monday night, y'all. Like, I was there. Watching on TV, you can see receivers can't get separation. But watching it live, it's even more apparent how bad this receiving core is. Like, there is no separation. There is no innovation in the play calling. This play calling is very vanilla. A lot of running the ball at the middle. Miles Sanders tiptoeing, tap dancing instead of hitting the hole. Chuba looks better than Miles Sanders. Why did we sign Miles Sanders in the first place? Like, I don't know, man. Like, 0-6 is looking like we're going to be 0-6. The only game in the next couple of weeks that we might win is Minnesota at home, but only because Kirk Cousins might throw a couple picks and they turn the ball over. But Justin Jefferson is going to cook C.J. Henderson. He's going to cook Dante Jackson. No J.C. Horn. No Shaq Thompson. Like, it's not good, y'all. Like, it's really not good. We play Seattle on Sunday. The 12th man, Bryce Young going to the 12th man. Yeah, good luck. Especially the way Seattle bounced back versus the Lions on Sunday. Then, speaking of the Lions, after we play the Seahawks, we go to Detroit.
Yep.
And then we go to Miami, who might be the best team in the NFL.
Yep.
Yep. That's 3 out of 4 road games. It's looking kind of rough.
Yeah, there's a lot to blame to go around for the Panthers' struggles. But I put the blame at 2 people. 1, the GM. 2, the head coach. And 3, the owner. This is the same GM. I hate to do it, Cork. I know Fitt's your guy, but we gotta be real here. This is the same GM who said that with this roster, all we need is a quarterback. We get a quarterback that he can just plug him in and play. With what? Nobody can get open, bro. Nobody.
Like, it's no design pass plays that work. The best thing that was going for them last night was crossing routes, and they didn't go to that much. Whenever they did go to the crossing route, you had someone like an Adam Thielen who can run routes that was completely always open. I looked at the separation chart, and Thielen literally was the only wide receiver that could get open. You had Hayden Hurst that was coming open later in the game, but at that point it was too late. Like, the bitch ass Saints had already started falling back.
That was a winnable game, though. That's a crazy thing, bro. Like, it was a very Derek Carr was very mid, except for 1 or 2 throws in the fourth quarter that he was able to connect to Olave.
That was in the last 2 games.
Yeah. Derek Carr doesn't look that great.
C.J. Henderson should not have a job right now. I don't give a fuck about his mental health. I don't give a fuck about his family. I don't give a fuck about what's going on. He should not have a job right now.
Damn.
I don't give a damn. Take it. He need to give back his game check to every fan that showed up to the game last night. How the fuck do you allow that 50-yard pass?
On 3rd and I was like 3rd and 12 or something.
Exactly.
Like, you can't get beat.
Once again, I can point out the plays that unravels the entire team and just sucks the life out of the rest of the game. And that was the one. Just like last week, it was Miles Sanders' fumble. Yesterday, it was CJ fucking Henderson.
Like, you could literally feel the energy in the building just get sucked. And I will say this. I get on Panther fans a lot about showing up late to games or even showing up at all. They showed up yesterday, even though some of them did show up a little late. But they actually brought a lot of energy to the game yesterday. So I'll give the fan base credit for showing up. Now, there was Saints fans in there. I won't sit here and lie, but it wasn't a complete takeover like we've seen in the past, where other teams' fans come in and just literally hijack the stadium. It was mainly like 85% Panther fans in there with some sprinkle of Saints fans in there. The thing that pissed me off the most, though, was when the game was pretty much in doubt. having to hear Saints fans loudly. I don't know if y'all heard on TV, but you can hear the Saints fans are loudly chanting "Who dat" all over the damn stadium yesterday.
I couldn't have been there.
Nasty.
Wow.
Been
I
there,
would have
hate
showed them who
it.
that was.
I
would
hate
have
it.
showed them who that was.
Been there. I hate it. I know how you
I
feel.
couldn't have been there.
Hey, let me just get this off about the Panthers, man, because it was Monday Night Football, and last time I checked, Chick-fil-A is open on Monday night, and the receivers still ain't open. So that's something I don't understand. But but the Panthers, it doesn't, man, like it pains me to say this, but the Panthers suck, and they're not going to be a good football team this season.
Damn, man.
And it breaks my heart, man. Like, cause
the thing about it, they can. It's just the play calling. Like if you know your personnel, and you know how to set everything up, you can design plays to get your wide receivers open. You can design schemes to make sure that the offense is running right. Like, to be completely honest, we've seen Bryce and we've seen how he plays. Yes, he makes mistakes, but at the exact same time, he's still comfortable. After he makes a mistake, he bounces back from those mistakes and he looks comfortable out there. He shouldn't have to wait 5 and 6 seconds waiting for a receiver to possibly open up, and he's never opens up, so he has to throw the ball away or he has to scramble and tries to make things happen with his legs. He done a great job with that last night, but it's like at the same time, we can't be asking him to do the same shit that we were asking Cam to do.
He's not built like that.
I can't put it on Bryce at all, man. Because look, second NFL game, and he doesn't look. He hasn't looked terrible. He hasn't looked like great, but he hasn't looked terrible. And he's doing the best he can with what he has. The receivers are not getting open. And Frank Wright, I don't know like what's going on with the play calling, but don't call any plays anymore. Don't call any plays. Don't call any plays anymore. Like,
do you see his press conference after the game? And I think today talking about, I'm still calling the plays, bro. There's a level of arrogance and ego with Frank Wright that
and
it reminds me of Matt Rule in a way, because like, what are you? How can you be so arrogant and delusional, bro? You got fired by an addict in Indianapolis.
Facts.
You got fired by a Percocet popper. Come on, man, calm your ass down, bro. You got fired by a Percocet popper, bro.
And we sick.
Be humble, bro. Be humble.
I can't hear. He got replaced by Jeff Saturday. Ugliest shit I've ever seen.
That's a nasty.
And guess where Jeff Saturday at right now? Bristol.
ESPN.
Back at ESPN. Talking about pancakes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like, Frank Wright was the quarterback coach or offensive coordinator in Philadelphia, but I'm starting to think Doug Peterson was calling those plays when they won the Super Bowl, man.
Yes, he was.
Had to be.
He was.
Had to be.
He was.
Because Jacksonville getting off. Paul.
They getting off.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are. Yes.
No, Doug
Peterson has completely changed the culture of the Jaguars. The Jaguars could easily beat the Chiefs on Sunday. That was a winnable game for Jacksonville.
Yeah.
That's that Chiefs defense stepped up again, y'all. Hey, we got to talk about that Chiefs. We got to show some love about them. Because last week it was really only 14 because Kadarius Toney had that dumb shit with the interception, because that was on him, not Patrick Mahomes. And then this week you only gave up 9 to this Trevor Lawrence, new Calvin Ridley offense. Defense balling right now. They showing me a little something on that defensive side.
Yeah, man. But last thing about the Panthers, bro, like, okay, Brad, what was you about to ask me?
No, I was going to ask you, Dave and Corey, just a question. Looking at the schedule, do you see a turnaround at any point during the season? Because I'm looking at the schedule past the games that you said earlier. So after that last road game against the Dolphins, you do get the Texans, you do get the Colts, and you get the Bears. Do you see a turnaround there? But then you face a heavy
I don't know.
As much as I hate to say this, fuck me for saying this, because fuck the Cowboys, but they actually look decent this year.
They're gonna beat the shit out of us, bro. Let's be honest, bro. We might not score a point versus the Cowboys. I'm not even being funny. If we don't improve, we might not score a point, bro.
I'm gonna start the defense that week. I hate to say it, but I'm gonna start the defense that week. I'm sorry, y'all. I can need these points, man.
I don't want to jump out.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I don't want to jump out and call anything. The only thing I want to call is call out Frank Wright to call some fucking better plays.
Exactly.
Things can turn around. Literally things can turn around.
Or better yet, let the offensive coordinator fucking do it.
Exactly. Hand the shit over.
Like,
you got Thomas Brown, who literally learned. You got an offensive coordinator that literally learned from one of the greatest offensive minds in the game today, in a Sean McVay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Let's see what he got. Let's see what new schemes he can come up with. He was in an innovative ass offense. Let's see what this man can do.
Exactly.
The defense is fine. I'm not worried about our defense.
Oh, not to mention he was the associate head coach of the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
So come on, he has some kind of level of respect that he can hold on to. Like at some point, like all of the great minds that's in that locker room, from Deuce Staley to Thomas Brown to Jim Caldwell, they need to come to Frank and be like, look, you may have to sit down for a minute, bro.
We need a dog in the building, bro.
It's supposed to be Deuce Staley. It's supposed to be Deuce Staley.
Somebody got to step up to the plate, bro, and be like, this is bullshit. Somebody on that coaching staff, somebody in that locker room as a player needs to step up. We used to have dogs, like real dogs, man. We don't have that right now.
Luke.
We don't have it right now, bro.
Johnson. We don't have it, man.
You don't have
and the ones that we have are injured.
Yeah, man. But to answer your question, Brad,
you expect to step up, but I mean, Burns can't do everything.
Is he a dog though? Is he a dog? He's great, but would you consider him a ragged, rough dog? No, he's a very good player, very talented player, but I don't consider him a dog.
Yeah.
Same thing I say about JC. JC's not a dog. He's a good player when he's on the field. He's not chirping nobody. He's not like your traditional DB.
No, Derek Brown did go at Slant Boy in the tunnel yesterday.
Yeah.
Fuck Slant Boy. Fuck him.
Hey, look.
Fuck him.
Fuck him. I got a message for the rest of the NFC South. I got a message for the rest of the NFC South. Okay, y'all all 2-0. Okay, that's all well and good. But like that Webby song, watch my shoes. You can be cool, you can get loose and all that, but watch my shoes. Don't fuck with me because y'all downfall is coming. All y'all downfalls is coming. The Falcons, y'all not gonna do shit. The Saints, we already know how that goes. And the Bucks, bitch, please. It's not happening. So
Bucks ain't doing it, but ruining their tank.
Get your shit off, Dave.
Y'all can talk shit and all that. Y'all can be good. Hey, but watch my shoes. Don't fuck with us, bro. Don't.
But real quick, to answer your question, Brad, there is a path to a quote-unquote turnaround after that Blueface game. I mean, Houston, it depends. Now, C.J. Stroud has looked solid at times. We'll see. D'Amico Ryan's got them boys playing hard. Indianapolis, Anthony Richardson's looked pretty decent so far until he got concussed. But Minshew came in and led him to a victory. At Chicago, I mean, you want to talk about a franchise that ruins quarterbacks. What the hell is going on up there? Because Justin Fields is too talented to be playing like this. Now, yes, he has some of the blame's on him, but the great thing is, y'all, Justin Fields, we knew he was athletic, but he didn't really run that much in college. He was beating people with the passing game. And you're telling me that he's holding on to the ball like this in the pocket. What are they telling him? What are they coaching him up on?
Did y'all catch what the Bucs said after the game, though? Did y'all catch what the Bucs said after the game? Levante David and Shaquille Barrett were pretty much saying that, like, everything that the Bears were doing, especially on that last drive where they got the pick into and going into the end zone, everything is predictable. Like, Chicago has no creativity. They don't know what they're doing with Justin Fields. They don't know what they're doing as a franchise. This is why they've had 20 quarterbacks in the last 20 years. Like, they don't know.
I hate this for my boy. Because
it sounds like the head coach we got at the moment calling the plays. Give it up to Thomas Brown, Frank Wright, please, before you ruin Bryce Young, because Bryce Young will not last long unless he is really, really mentally strong and we put some pieces around him. Because right now it's going to be rough. Let's see. After Chicago, Dallas at home. I hate to say it, but good Lord, like, yeah.
That game might get ugly and get ugly quick.
Now, after the Dallas game, we do have Tennessee. Now, depending on what Tennessee is at that point, is Will Levis going to be in? Is Luke Willis going to be in? Who knows? At Tampa, Yeah, Tampa's 2-0, but yeah, we'll see.
They
Then
ruining their tank.
at New Orleans, we might get our lit. We have a chance to get our lit back. Then we play the Falcons at home after New Orleans, so there's an opportunity to possibly, but things are about to change and change in a hurry. As of right now, I don't see it. Could it change? Possibly, but Frank Wright's going to have to either open the playbook or give it the play calling. And then we have a tough stretch in the season with Green Bay at Jacksonville and Tampa. So, I mean, is it possible? Yeah, to string off a nice little couple wins, maybe change the course of the season, maybe not make the playoffs, but maybe just stringing together some wins. You know what I'm saying? It's possible, but a lot's going to have to change.
We're looking at like another top 5, top 8 pick in the draft. We go try
to unfortunately, it's going to Chicago.
We don't have that.
Oh, I forgot we got it. Chicago. Never mind.
Yeah. This is why you should have traded Brian Burns when you had the chance. But
yeah, if you're not going to pay him, why don't just keep DJ Moore and trade Brian Burns to Chicago so that at least Bryce Young has a receiver that a clear number one that he can throw to.
I don't know, but some more NFL topics. 49ers look good. Dallas looks good. Eagle was still looking kind of shaky.
Actually, I have a question about the Eagles though, because you see how like Anthony Richardson looks so far in the season, right? With Eagles' new offensive coordinator, they're still kind of like getting used to each other and everything. So how do you guys see that? Because the old offensive coordinator went to go is now coaching Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson looks a lot of the things look very similar to what Jalen Hurts has been doing, especially last year. So like, can the Eagles get it? Can the Eagles actually look more convincing moving forward?
I think right now the NFC Championship game is going to be 49ers versus Cowboys because there's more continuity on the staffs. And even though the Cowboys lost Kellen Moore, Mike McCarthy.
They play each other week 5.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
A big game.
And then Kyle Shanahan has been at the 49ers for a while, and those guys are familiar with what Kyle Shanahan wants to do. The thing about the NFC at the top of the NFC, because really it's 3 teams. It's the 49ers, the Cowboys, and the Eagles, and it seems like it's everybody else at the moment. I don't trust any of the teams in the South. The North, Green Bay tricked off versus the Falcons the other day. Can the Eagles get in sync to really get that continuity and that chemistry? Because when you go against Dallas, those games are going to be important because those games could be for home field in the playoffs. You don't want to go on the road. Also, I'm going to give props to a guy that should be getting more love. And that's Eric Bieniemy for not only the Commanders are 2-0, but they're actually putting points on the board. They came back down 21-3 on the road at Denver. Sam Howell outplayed Russell Wilson in the second half. Shout out to Eric B. Eric B should be a head coach. He should have been the Panthers head coach back in 2020, but we're not going to get into that bullshit.
Fuck Sean Payne, but fuck Matt Rule.
Dre, what you got to say about the win?
Hey, look, man, I ain't gonna lie. They had us in the first half. That looked like fucking rest that was cooking back in Seattle in that first half. But I like what EB was dialing up in that second half, and our defense really stepped up to like the momentum of the game changed when we got that fumble off Russ. And what I'm seeing a difference is in these last 2 games is our defense always make plays, but it's what we do with the ball after the defense made the plays. And what we're doing right now is taking the ball and going down and scoring. And that gives your whole team juice. Like now the defense knows like, hey, we get this ball back, our team can put some points on the board and we get to stay on the sideline and rest a little bit so we're more charged up on the next series. So that's why I like to see, we got to do better closing games because that fluke-ass Hail Mary should have never happened. But we got the dub. That's all that matters. Chase looked good for his first game back. They actually had him play more snaps than attended. Him and Sweat was having meetings on top of Russell Wilson's jersey. So I'm excited to see now with this test against the Bills next week. Josh Allen's coming into the building. And last time we played them, they pretty much cooked us. But I feel like we're a different team now. I can't wait to see what the defense and EB Dollar for that game.
So Drake,
shout out to Scary Terry. Shout out to Scary Terry because that catch was a monster.
That catch was mean, bro. That was a
shout out to Scary Terry. That's my boy.
Yeah.
But go ahead, my bad. Go ahead.
Giants. I say the Giants look really shaky to start the year. They were a wild card team last year, but they look really shaky. They were down 28-0 to Arizona, who's clearly tanking.
Mm-hmm.
Saquon's injured. Can Washington possibly overtake the Giants and take that wild card spot from the Giants, in your opinion?
Yeah. Because remember, the division didn't have anybody under 500, and that's because we tied with them and we lost a close game to the Giants. So it's not like they're that much of a better team. We're pretty much right there with them. It was just a few plays here and there that changed how the outcome of that game was. And you even have freaking Ron talking about, damn, if I knew Sam could play like this, I probably would have him playing earlier and before we got eliminated from the playoff contention. So, I mean, I understand they added like Darren Waller and height and pieces like that, but once again, when they try to put in Daniel Jones-Holmes, they look ugly in the first half, but second half, when they put in Saquon's hand and ran the ball, that's when they start getting to the game. That's when the play action was setting up to their rookie height. That's when Darren Waller was getting more catches. But now Saquon's gone. So now you're putting the ball. Now you're putting the ball back in Daniel Jones' hands for at least 3 weeks, and so if they don't come out of that joint like 2-1, they already going to be behind the 8 ball.
Well, I know one thing: the Giants play the 49ers on Thursday. I think the game's in San Francisco. Good luck.
That's an L.
That's an
L.
Because their offensive line doesn't look as good that people expected it to be as well. Like they get into the quarterback. Like Arizona did very well in the first half. It's just at the end of the day, Arizona just didn't have the talent to keep up. Like I knew when during the Giants offense started to click, like Arizona didn't have anything left. It was really about when it was going to happen. So,
yeah.
But I feel like we can really take the Giants spot. I'm confident in that.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing about the NFC before we go to the AFC, 49ers, Cowboys, I don't trust either one of their quarterbacks. Quite honestly, I really don't trust either one of their coaches. It's really going to come down to which coach do you trust more, and honestly, which quarterback you trust more. The defenses are both elite. There's skilled players on the offensive end of the ball that can make plays, but if these teams are headed on a collision course, because I'm not going to count the Eagles out yet, but they just don't – something's just not clicking with them early. Who do you guys trust more right now? Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan or Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy? Not the teams. I'm talking about quarterback and coach.
I'm going to go with Shanahan and Purdy because – one, they just haven't lost yet, and Shanahan been to a more recent Super Bowl, and that's why I think it comes down to. Like I see, like that. Like first of all, we kind of seen this matchup already last year, so I know Kellen Moore was the offensive. Yeah, so I know like Kellen Moore was the offensive coordinator, and McCarthy's now calling the plays and everything. But like these teams seen each other twice already, and the difference of the game was. The 49ers was just a more physical team. Like they would like when Jimmy G was the quarterback on 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 8, they were still running the ball and getting first downs. That means she was just a more physical team that day. And then last year, even though Dallas defense was balling and contained Purdy, like Purdy didn't get off, the offense just couldn't do anything. And to be honest, like, y'all signed Brandon Cooks and everything, but the offense still got a kind of like the same like standard of playmaking. Well, and not the same anymore because Ezekiel Elliott not there. I don't know who's like the true backup there anymore, but it's really going to be about. It's really not even like a physical. It's just a mental thing. Like we just know that Dallas is just going to like fail when it comes to December and January. Like they like until they get over that hump, we just know that they can win 13, 14, 15 games all they want to in this regular season. But what they're going to do in January, and recently they just showed that they get to the division round and then they jig it up. So 49ers just had Green Bay and Dallas number for the past half decade. And that's really it. Actually, whole decade, if you want to be honest.
Not facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
I agree. I go with Shanahan and Purdy.
I go with Shanahan and Purdy
me too.
right now.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Really, for same reasons. I mean, we saw Brock Purdy make more plays than Dak Prescott in the divisional round last year. So, I mean, just off the strength of that, and just kind of the mental hurdles that the Cowboys have to get over. Because I mean, every year, I know they gotta hear it that, oh, like you can do as well as you want in the regular season, but come playoff time, if you don't get over that hump, it's gonna be the same old thing every year. So I know that's got to be in some of their heads. So
I will say this: Michael Parsons is a game wrecker.
Yeah,
he is legit.
They trying to hold off of it, but I'm gonna just be honest with you. Right now, he looks like he's the best defensive player in the league right now. I know they try and still say Aaron Donald and everything, but just if you just watch the game and just watch the film, like Michael Parsons is just good. He's beating everything.
Yeah.
Nah, man, like Michael Parsons be like in the backfield, like he's sitting on your couch, bro. Like he just it's crazy. Like I'm with you there, Dre, for sure.
Hell, best defensive player. He might be the best player in football.
Right
now. He's definitely in the top. He's definitely like top 3. He's definitely like in that top 3 realm. Like I know, because you know how they feel about the quarterback. Always gotta be the better position, get all the rewards. But sometimes you just gotta think about like how difficult what he is doing right now. And he completely dominate. He owns New York. He came in like bang and just took over the city, bro. So
Bane, Reggie Miller, Michael Jordan.
Don't get T started.
Trae Young.
Right.
Don't get T fired about New York.
Hey, we're gonna talk about New York, right?
I mean, what is there to talk about? Zach Wilson stinks.
About to say, I mean,
look, man, look. This is what I gotta say about Zach Wilson. Like, well, for one, I can't trust him with shit, bro. And it's like Shannon Sharp said the other day. He can't play dead in a horror movie. Like, bro. You talk about a quarterback like this, bro. Like Zach Wilson make more bad decisions than a cokehead athlete, bro. Like he don't throw down in the kitchen. He throw up in the kitchen. I can't trust him on the field. I can't trust him off the field. And and if I was going to the strip club, I wouldn't trust him with my money. He might throw that shit in the trash instead of at the dancers. So I can't trust him. I can't trust him with anything. So, but if I'm the Jets, if he does this again next week, if he has a performance like he did against Dallas, and he does it again next week, find I don't care if it's Nick Foles. I don't care if
you gotta make a trade for Kirk. There's two. You gotta make two. Honestly, there's really only 2 trades that can really help them out. If Minnesota goes like this, get Kirk Cousins on the phone. He's on a 1-year deal, I think, anyway. So if Aaron Rodgers is healthy next year, you just let Kirk Cousins go. This is Kirk Cousins' audition for his last contract. Jameis Winston, I know I've said it, but I mean, hey, the man did throw for 5,000 yards in a season. He'll throw some picks, but at the same time, he will make some plays that are spectacular that maybe only a few other quarterbacks can make. Now, if you can reel him in, we did see his first year with Sean Payton. Jameis was not controlling his turnovers. He had like 14 touchdowns, only like 2 interceptions before he got injured and tore his ACL. If you can just reel him in, you got look, we got Garrett Wilson, we got these running backs. Just he can make throws when you need him to make throws. As much as we talk about his turnovers, Jameis does have a lot of fourth quarter comebacks as well in his career. Mm-hmm. That's really it, though. Nick Foles, no.
That's not a quarterback.
Here's the problem. You need a quarterback that's got to have some type of mobility with that offensive line. That's why I said Jameis. Jameis is slimmed down. He can run. He's not the fastest guy, but he can move. You can get him out the pocket. He make throws on the move. Kirk Cousins doesn't have a lot of mobility, but he can move just enough. Nick Foles would be a statue back there. I don't see it.
Vikings
I don't see it.
let Dalvin Cook and Kirk Cousins go into the Jets is sick. That's a sick ass shit.
That'd be this.
That's some sick ass shit.
That's reverse Brett Favre.
But you know what? But you know that's what they get, bro. I told them about Kirk Cousins, but you know I was just being a hater. What do I know? What do I know?
Hey, what do you know, Dre, man? What do you know, bro?
They keep getting full because you roster him on your fantasy team and then you don't watch the game. You look, he's like, oh my god, he threw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. But then you don't realize 150 came in 3 quarters and then 150 came when it was like 2 minutes left, down 25 points. So he got 2 garbage ass touchdowns.
Inflation. Hey, hey, you know there's
like Kirk Cousins. No, Kirk Cousins is really like the best fantasy quarterback of all time, bro. He will fool you to think that he is the GOAT in reality, dog. Like it's amazing.
Hey, but you know, once upon a time there's a thing called Reaganomics, man. You can call this Cousinomics, man.
Oh my God.
Hey, what he selling? What he selling, Dave? What he selling?
You call it.
I know, we talk about like great scammers like the coach from Bishop Sycamore, but let's understand that Kirk Cousins getting paid max dollars and all guaranteed money, and then he's doing the stuff like this, bro. Like he's really like one of the best scammers in NFL history. Like Matt Flynn walks so Kirk Cousins can fly, dog. Like that's what's going on right now. Like
Matt Flynn got paid off of one game, bro. He got paid off of one game.
Matt Flynn started a snowball effect I never saw coming, bro.
Russell Wilson came and snatched this shit, boy.
Wow, man. Crazy. But speaking of, man, you know what's wild, bro? The Bengals are 0-2.
Woo.
The Chargers are 0-2. I'm not surprised, but there's actually people out here talking about New England 0-2. But are we really surprised that they're 0-2 with the teams they had to play?
No.
They're not
exactly. So we're not going to talk about New England. I'm sorry, Jamel, but nah, y'all ain't worthy of being talked about at the moment.
Sorry, Kev. Sorry, Mello. They're not good.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kurt. Sorry, Malachi.
Now, which team is in more trouble, though? The Chargers or the Bengals? Now, the Bengals did start 0-2 last year, and they were able to turn around, win a division, and get to the AFC Championship game. But Joe Burrow's injured again, which is why I don't know why they tried to rush him back so quickly. Calf injuries are very, very tricky. Your calf does not have a lot of support.
Mm-hmm.
If you pull your calf, that's an injury that can linger. And they tried to rush him back. He clearly wasn't right. Yeah, I don't know. The Chargers, Brandon Staley needs to be fired. He should have been fired after they tricked off the
he's not going to make it. At this rate, he's not going to make it past September. I'm sorry. Like
he might be out.
He needs to be out. Man, especially after that disaster in the playoffs, he needs to be out.
Yeah, I thought
that Chargers roster is too good,
too talented
to be. There's too much talent on that roster. You have a Derwin James, you have a Joey Bosa, you have all these receivers, you have Justin
Eckler.
Yeah,
like this roster is too good to be doing the stuff that they've been doing for the last several years. Like, there's a curse in the Chargers organization, bro. Like, you know, back when they had Drew Brees, and then you transition to Philip Rivers, you go 14-2. You have New England dead to rights. You trick that game off at home.
Mm-hmm. At home.
The next year, you get to the AFC Championship game. Philip Rivers tears ACL. LaDainian Tomlinson gets injured the same game. He can't go. They had no chance versus that 07 Pats team in Foxborough. Even though Philip Rivers, showed a lot of heart by even playing in that game, and then it was a competitive game actually. But that was that. Then the year they had the number 1 seed in the AFC, I think the number 2 seed in the AFC, you lose to Mark Sanchez at home. Mark fucking Sanchez at home, bro. Like,
nah, man, unacceptable.
Yeah.
It just feels like they're cursed, man. It just feels they've been cursed for the longest.
No, there was one year, it was a couple years ago. If their special teams was actually average, they would have been a playoff team. Like, that's how good they were. But they will always find a way to fuck it up on special teams or some bonehead turnover and lose games they had no business losing. Like, this team is cursed. Like, Brandon Staley, you gotta go, bro. Like, this roster's too good. Plus, Justin Herbert either just got paid or is going to get paid big bucks, and the clock is ticking.
He just got
$260
million.
He just got his big.
This is a chaos thing, but I'm sorry, Dre, but this might be EB's opening to get his head coaching job. You take Eric Bieniemy and put him in that Chargers head coach and see how they take off.
I think Eric B is in position to get the Commander's job because if
Ron
doesn't make the playoffs with new ownership,
that's true. That is still my original.
He's not leaving the building, bro. He's not leaving the building. No.
You think
we about to get that? We about to build the first island in DC for that boy EB. Don't play with us, bro.
Hey,
don't play with us.
He's succeeding Ron one way or the other.
True.
But the answer to his question, I really think it is Bengals because what their aspiration was for coming into the season, like there was a Super Bowl contender. You know, Joe Burrow just got this payday, and you trying to work things out with T. Higgins. That fell apart. Right now, him and Jamar Chase are now on the same page, and you know those are LSU bros. But the most concerning thing is you pay all this money for this offensive line, and you brought in Orlando Brown Jr. And I'm sorry, my guy has not been looking good in these first two games for the Bengals. Like first game, you could say it was about the weather, but now the weather wasn't there, and now the Bengals are already behind, not just 0-2, but they lost two games to divisional opponents.
Mm-hmm.
So like really,
Jamar Chase has been a no-show.
So that's really 0-2 is really like 0-3 and 0-4 right now because they struggle against the Cleveland Browns. They play better against the Ravens, but they still struggle. And like you said, at the end of the game, that calf reappears. So now it's like now they trying to think if they need to set him out for this Monday night game or maybe set him a couple of weeks. So like everything is all on Joe. Like so with this, so that's why I think they're more in trouble because if he's not right, then this pretty much is going to be a lost season, and then this is not the season to have it because you got people who's got contracts coming up like T. Higgins that you could lose him out of the free agency.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. I mean, the Bengals are in more danger. I mean, one because they've lost 2 division games to start the season, and their quarterback is hurt. Quarterback is not on the same page with your number 1 wide receiver. You're in the
and not to cover you off, not to cover your dog. You know who they play in the third game? They gotta go against Aaron Donald.
Yeah, they on Monday night. Yeah,
on Monday night.
Yep.
So do you want to even risk? Do you even want to risk him being in there, knowing that your offensive line is not as good as you think it is? Because Aaron Donald's going to get through there.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, like for the Chargers, they're gonna beat the Broncos and the Raiders. They're gonna be fine against them.
Oh yeah, they suck.
It's really the Chiefs that they have to worry about. And so but the Bengals, the Steelers are gonna at least the Steelers defense is gonna be good. Like the Browns have shown that their defense is good. The Ravens are a top tier team, so the Bengals have a lot more to worry about than the Chargers.
Mm-hmm. I'll say this about the Chargers real quick. They play Minnesota. The loser of that game. Man. Yeah. 0-3.
Oh.
And that's gonna be a shoot. That's gonna be a shootout because all of a sudden, all these names on the Chargers defense, they've been getting scored on these past 2 weekends. Tennessee put up 27 on them, and I'm like, come on,
nasty.
Heck yeah. So, next question: which 2-0 team are you buying more stock in? The Dolphins or the Ravens? Both are 2-0. Both have dynamic quarterback play. Tua, Lamar Jackson, Odell Beckham did get injured. J.K. Dobbins is out for the season. Once again, seeming like a lot's going to be on Lamar's shoulders. The Dolphins have an explosive receiving group. They have Mostert at running back, and their defense will get healthier when they get Ramsey back. So who you buy more stock in, the Dolphins or the Ravens?
I mean, we talking about like the Dolphins kind of arguably being the best team in the NFL right now.
That's what I was about to say.
I would say
I was about to lean. I'm leaning towards the Dolphins right now.
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards the Dolphins. I mean, who's really going to stop that offense right now? I mean, maybe the Cowboys or the 49ers can. But and we got it. I mean, I know Jalen Waddle's in concussion protocol right now, but Tua's on point, Tyreek Hill's on point, Raheem Mostert, balled out the other night. And I think they're gonna get like one of their better offensive linemen back, Eric Armstead, I believe.
Yeah.
So they're gonna get better. They're gonna get better, and I know, like, man, this is kind of tough because like the Ravens and like they're clicking right now, but I just feel like Miami just has the better setup, and I think they can overcome a lot more things in their division than the Ravens can.
I was about to make that. When you look at a division, Miami has less to overcome than what the Ravens do. The Ravens are arguably playing the most physically demanding division than what the Dolphins do. The Dolphins really only have to worry about Buffalo, and we know what Allen will randomly do is give the ball up and then shit goes to hell. The Jets are making it interesting with their defense, but they have no offense at this point. And we know what New England's all about because we haven't even mentioned them. So when you look at division-wise, the Ravens are going to have to go through.
But let me say, is it just a physicality thing, though? Because if we just looking team by team after 2 weeks in, Cleveland Brown has not looked that good. Like, they got one win against a hobbled Bengals team, and then they couldn't get it done against the Steelers last night. Then you look at Pittsburgh, like you get blown out by San Francisco, and then you look like you're playing a sus Cleveland team.
Timeout.
Uh-oh.
Speaking of the Steelers,
go ahead,
the
Brad.
defense scored more points than the offense. Brad,
go ahead. Hey, Brad, go ahead.
Once again, my Matt Canada to Canada my Matt Canada to Canada platform will continue.
I'm hearing too much Canada on the show, man.
This bum needs to
getting tired of this Canada shit.
The rest of the Canadians and go to the Canadian League. Like, I am tired of having to sit here and watch an offense who played very well during the preseason and seems to cannot replicate it in the regular season. Now, I understand that starters only play a limited amount of time. You've got 3 preseason games. But my God, can we start running basic route combinations? You got Pickens looking like he is DJ Chark instead of Pickens. No offense to DJ Chark, but Pickens is just better. So my point is very simple. If they were smart, you take Canada off the team and go get somebody else. I don't know who the play caller needs to be, but I'm going to continue to shout from the rooftops to fire Matt Canada. I am not going to sit here and say a man should lose a job, but today I am, because this is getting out of hand. We should have we could have competed better against the 49ers. I don't think we would have beat them. They came out like gangbusters and they did what they had to do. But the Browns, we should have beat them. If it wasn't for the defense, we would have lost that game, and I'd have been pissed at this point right now, because the defense is doing everything with losing 2 of our better players. Cam Hayward might be out for an undisclosed amount of time. Mika Fitzpatrick got hit in the chest, and they're talking about he might have to be out, and we're still balling out on the defense. But the offense, and let me just say this, Najee Harris, you're looking like Treat Richardson right now. You look like you ate more White House burgers than you were in the goddamn gym. You look slow as shit, and you have no explosion. So Warren needs to start over Najee. And I was a Najee fan when we drafted him. But no. Warren needs to start over Najee and get at least half, if not 60 to 70% of those carries, because I did not see one explosive play from Najee all night. Warren over Najee, and that's all I have to say.
Brad, I just want to follow up with something, man, because like when you have a whole stadium talking about firing your offensive coordinator, you know shit is going down the drain, man. But
yeah, bro,
I want to speak to some of these like Steeler fans.
This isn't a dumb fan base. They know.
Some of this fan base that you're talking about, like as far as like replacing Mike Tomlin, you're not going to find a better coach right now that fits the Steeler franchise like than Mike Tomlin. It's kind of like that Twitter thread. It's kind of like that Twitter thread that was talking about staying in your relationship instead of going to the streets. You think you want to be out there? You don't really want to be out there. You think the grass is greener on the other side? But it's really not. You think you can find a better coach, but you really can't. So that's what it really reminds me of.
That was the realest thread ever.
I have been saying it for 4 years. Every time I'm in one of those little groups, I type, Name me a coach that you will replace Mike Tomlin with, and it's crickets. It is Jiminy Cricket in that bitch because can't nobody give me a name. Nobody can give me a name.
They want to replace him because he's black.
And the names they would give me are other places.
Brad, I have a question though. I saw Steelers fans talking about this. Apparently, Todd Haley was supposed to be the OC again, but him and Big Ben had friction, and they put Matt Canada because Big Ben had a bad relationship with Matt Canada. How does Big Ben at the end of his career, but he looked like a fucking corpse, have that much? I mean, yeah, he won you 2 Super Bowls. I get it, but
that was young Ben.
Exactly. Yeah. How does he have that much influence when he played like garbage at the end of his career, and it's setting y'all back right now? That influence that Big Ben had is setting y'all back with Matt Canada. It's ridiculous. Watching that game was hard to watch yesterday. Honestly, thank God for TJ. If you're a Steelers fan, thank God for your defense. Thank God for TJ Watt.
Fuck TJ Watt
because that was ridiculous.
Alex Highsmith, man.
Fuck TJ Watt. I stand on that platform all day long. No disrespect, Brad. Fuck TJ Watt.
Yeah.
Personally, TJ Watt's a beast. I understand why Corey's upset.
It's okay. I don't even like the Steelers as a whole. So go ahead, Corey. Shit.
I mean,
I stand on that platform. And the thing about it, the Steelers is my dad's team, but fuck TJ Watt. Ooh. Fuck TJ Watt. I stand on that. He on that list.
So I mean, to answer this question is very simple. We held on for Big Ben too long. We held on to nostalgia a bit too long. We held on to his old ass a bit too long. And I was a Big Ben fan. Had followed his whole career. But those last
yellow that boy.
So I felt like we held him on about 2 years too long, and we waited too long to try to find a replacement, and it gave him the invincibility to be able to make changes like that. No, Todd Haley wasn't the best, but Todd Haley was a decent offensive coordinator. But yes, him and Big Ben had friction because Todd Haley wanted to do certain things, and Big Ben wanted it more like Bruce Arians when he was chucking it all over the field. Todd Haley wanted to be more balanced, and they bumped heads, and Big Ben got his way. So now it's biting us in the ass because we're left with Matt Canada, who's supposedly supposed to be this offensive coordinator on the same level as these other guys, but I don't see any type of route combinations that make me say, oh, he's innovative. I don't see any innovation. I don't see anything getting these guys nearly open. The one big bomb last night was just Pickens doing what he did at Georgia. Outrun your D-back, go catch the ball, and make a beeline for the end zone. Like he was between the hedges and after.
Man, Matt Canada ain't nothing outside of a jet sweep. That's what he is.
Exactly. And it's like you want to run jet sweeps for what? It was one play on 4th down, and I'm like, why are we running the ball on 4th down? We know we haven't been running the ball all year, especially with Najee's slow ass trying to go up in the middle of a hole. So no, I am utterly frustrated that we're stuck with Canada, and we're not an organization that's going to make a midseason move. We're just not. So we're going to look shitty on offense a lot of these games. The defense is what's going to save us. I know how people feel about, the division, and I feel like, in all honesty, I had picked the Bengals originally, and I picked us to be kind of right behind them, but the Ravens are definitely proving me wrong. And the Ravens are going to be right there at the end of the day. And the Bengals, I don't know what's going to happen with them with Joe Burrow and the injury. The Browns are the Browns. Maybe they get it together because their defense is acting. I will say this. It's fuck the Browns, but I respect Chubb because Chubb always gives us trouble. The man is a brick wall when he runs the ball. Sorry he's out, and I hope he has a speedy recovery. But it's the Browns.
Get well, Chubb.
Way to fuck shit up.
Yeah, get well, so really Nick Chubb, man.
Can we stay competitive? Get well, Chubb, because you are a legit boss on a team that doesn't, and a team in a franchise that doesn't know how to get their shit together because they hired a guy that likes to get happy endings rather than watch the playbook half the time. But that's besides the point. Basically, at the end of the day, if we don't get our offensive struggles in check, we're going to be looking at being in the same hole that we were last year, struggling because the defense have to do the carry job the entire year. And you're going to have to hear fans bitch about firing Tomlin. It's not Tomlin's fault.
Hey, T, can I ask all y'all a quick question? Because Brad pretty much brought it up. So this weekend we saw Chubb go down. We saw Barkley, he's about to be out 2 or 3 weeks. We don't know how long David Montgomery going to be out. The running back took a big hit, in my opinion, this weekend because they're trying to get paid but then star running backs are going down like this already in week 2.
Mm-hmm.
Is this setting the running back market back even further? Because now it's like you want to be played like star athletes, but yeah, we can't depend on y'all being on the field. So I saw like this report about the NFLPA want the running backs to kind of like fake like their injuries need to be longer than what they really are. But I don't know. I just think like the running back market took another hit this week because 2-star running backs are going down one out for the season.
It did. It
you
did.
Can, you can look at it one two ways. Running backs they're going to hold out even more.
Yeah.
Because the risk. Also, I am sick and tired of this fucking turf.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, the turf is not helping at all.
I am sick and tired of this turf.
From us.
I'm sick and tired of this turf. But I think honestly, it's going to make both sides double down even more.
I agree with you.
Running backs are going to hold out more. They're going to demand money because their window is short. And then owners are going to look at these injuries and be, well, I don't know. I feel like both sides are going to double down, and it's going to continue to be ugly negotiations as far as these running backs and these teams.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's not gonna work because I mean, like the running backs have the same type of rookie contract like everybody else's. So by the time they get towards the end of it, they're kind of like already like not really their best years. Like kind of most of their best years are already gone by that time. And this has been debated a lot, especially after Chubb's injury last night, as far as how can this situation be fixed with the running backs. Well, people are talking about running backs being able to leave school earlier, but that's not going to happen because everybody has to have the same type of eligibility rules. But if there's a way that like rookie running backs could get paid earlier, like get paid after like year 2 or something like that, year 3, like they have to get paid at that. Like you have to have like some type of either like franchise tag or you have to get like your contract extension during those 2-3 years. And if you're not able to, that running back is able to be a free agent, and be able to get money somewhere else because this position it's going to remain as one of the positions that will not like in that if you're in that position, you're not going to last as long in the NFL compared to like a quarterback, compared to an offensive lineman, to anyone on defense. You're not going to last that long because especially if you're a workhorse running back, you're carrying the ball 30 times a game. You're not going to last more than 8, 9 years. Like if that.
I think they said the average is like 4.
There needs to be a way for running backs to get paid earlier so that because that's what they all want to do. They want to be able to get their money. They want to be able to have the same opportunity to get their money just like the quarterbacks do, just like anyone else on offense does. Everyone else on offense gets their money. They have more longevity and the ability to get their money, but they don't. So there needs to be a way for running backs to get their money earlier in their career.
I agree.
I don't think nothing's going to change at all. The league itself, they already done shot down changing the turf. With them saying that means that they don't give a fuck. So it's just pretty much like how T said earlier. It's going to be a stalemate when it comes to those negotiations. I love the idea that Dave have, but I don't see that happening because if you make that change for one position, then you're going to end up getting every other position that's going to start getting upset. Well, what about us? What about me? What about me? It's going to turn into one of those things. So that's tampering with the entire CBA, and nobody's going to go for that. League already don't like to give money already, so yeah, you can hang that one up. Only person getting paid in the league is your name is Patrick Mahomes. Shout out to the Virgo King.
Yeah, we come against the clock, so we're gonna make a couple of picks for these week 3 NFL games. So Tennessee, Cleveland. One of these teams gonna be 2-1. One of these teams gonna be 1-2. Browns or Titans. Game is in Cleveland.
Titans.
I'm gonna go Cleveland.
I'm gonna go Cleveland off defense.
Browns.
I'm gonna say Cleveland. 2-0 Atlanta versus 1-1 Detroit.
Game at Detroit.
Games in Detroit. Detroit is 3.5-point favorites.
I'm gonna go Detroit with this. I think they'll bounce back
Detroit.
last week.
We'll go Detroit.
I'm going Detroit because of Ritter.
Yeah, Atlanta's a fraudulent 2-0 in my opinion, but that's neither here or there. New Orleans at Green Bay.
Detroit. You're going Detroit.
Detroit.
Green Bay.
Okay.
Green Bay.
New Orleans at Green Bay. Green Bay. Yeah, Packers.
Green Bay.
Wait, who they playing?
The Saints.
The bitch ass niggas.
Yeah. We gotta go Green Bay. Got to.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. These 4 o'clock games are some hot trash. Chicago at Kansas City. That's gonna be an absolute ass whooping. Dallas at Arizona. That's an absolute ass whooping.
Dallas. God damn.
Pittsburgh at Vegas.
Hey, man,
you gonna be at that, Brad?
I will be at that game live and in person.
Is Devontae playing? Is Devontae playing?
He's questionable right now.
Oh yeah, man, I don't need, man. Please, I don't need you to see them lose in person, Brad, because I already know that Matt Canada rant is going to be legendary next episode.
If they
Brad's liable to go down onto the field and wreck Matt Canada on the field, bro. Like I'm swearing.
Yeah, don't let me near the locker room. Just don't let me near field level. I will. Yeah.
On Monday night, we got 2-0 Philadelphia at 2-0 Tampa. Let's see what this point spread is. Eagles are at 5-point favorites. Philadelphia.
I'm taking Philly. I'm taking
at least
Philly
10.
In the spread.
At least 10. At least 10.
Man,
the Bucks have no chance of covering.
I gotta see who's healthy on the backside for the Eagles because they've been getting exposed. So
yeah,
I take the spread.
I don't care. I don't care.
Tampa Bay,
who Tampa Bay sent out there as their quarterback?
Baker.
Hey,
exactly.
Hey,
he got more wins than some teams already, though.
Yeah.
So hey.
Hey, it's the sad truth. It's the hard truth, man.
Mike Evans going to ball for that contract, so exactly. I know he's going to show up.
He got one dog out there at the wide receiver position.
He do.
Yeah. All right, real quick, last little segment. We're going to go to the college games. Let's see. Y'all already know I'm rocking with Florida State over Clemson. Is anybody going to pick Clemson on this panel so I can know who I need to fuss out after this recording's over?
I got no stake in this fight.
No, my girlfriend went to Clemson, but I'm sorry.
That's sad. That's sad. That's sad.
We don't care about that on this podcast.
That's a divided household.
There's no love lost, so no.
Hey.
Colorado, Oregon. I think we're all picking Oregon across the board.
But I want Shador still ball out. Shador still ball out.
I want Shador to ball out.
Shador's gonna make this a game. Shador's gonna make this a game. He's gonna make this a game.
Closer than the experts think. Closer than the experts.
Shador's gonna make this a game. True. Man, fuck it. Man, fuck it. I'm picking Colorado. Fuck it, man. We're gonna keep riding, bro.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep riding, bro. Keep riding, bro. Yeah. I got the hater blockers on. I got the hater blockers on. We're gonna keep riding for Prime. Y'all know how bad it is. I really rooting for Prime, man. That nigga literally played for like every hated team like ever, bro. Like he played for Dallas, he played for the Ravens, he played for the Braves, like. But he just that dude, son.
He played for all your odds.
He did, bro. Like one man hit job, but everybody took a turn passing him around, bro, like a blunt. But nah, man, he could like Prime just one of them dudes, man. So I'm gonna rock with Prime. I'm gonna rock with him and Shador.
Ole Miss or Bama?
Fuck them.
Ooh.
Man.
Ew.
Alabama's 7-point favorites.
I'm gonna go.
That's the crazy part about it.
I'm going
Ole Miss for chaos. I'm going Ole Miss for chaos.
See, what the game?
I'm gonna go Alabama.
We know it, but we don't.
The game's in Bama.
The game's a tough.
I'm going Ole Miss.
I'm gonna just go Alabama just off defense, man.
I'm going Ole Miss. I'm trying to see something.
I'll go for Ole Miss.
Oh God. That's gonna be
all right. Ohio State or Notre Dame. Ohio State's 3-point favorites on the road. Who y'all got?
Ohio State.
It's gonna be a tough
I guess I root for. I will not root, but I pick Ohio State, man. Fuck.
Yeah,
man.
it's gonna be a tough one. I think they're gonna pull it out.
Sorry, Brad. It's been fuck Ohio State since 03, but it's also been fuck Notre Dame since like 70 something. So fuck both of them.
God damn, you won't even.
I mean, honestly, I'm just trying to figure out how a way I can call something so they can cancel the game because fuck both of them, man.
Can we have like a wildfire or something like?
Hey man, y'all gonna bring the plague into both of them locker rooms, bro. Like to stop the game.
I'm definitely telling somebody for a curfew.
All I know is fuck Dabo Swinney. Your girl can hear. If your girl can hear right now, fuck Dabo.
Woo! Relay the message. Sorry, Danny.
She already know, and half of the time she don't care.
But yeah, fuck Clemson. Don't let me down, Mike Norvell. I'm calling for Deion to come to FSU, bro.
This is really an important weekend coming up, golly.
It's a judgment Saturday, honestly. It's a judgment Saturday.
I want you to continue to watch football, man. It's not even October yet.
My league pass is renewed.
Hey, preseason starting like 2 weeks, right?
Preseason starting in 2 weeks. Preseason starting 2 weeks.
Look, my NBA league pass subscription has renewed. If Florida State loses on Saturday, I'm done with football, bro. We could go 11-1, but we lose this fucking Clemson team on Saturday, bro. I'm done, bro.
Oh Lord!
No, don't let it happen, man. Don't let it happen.
Come on, Florida State. Don't let it happen.
I'm just a spectator.
You still got to contribute.
I'll put it like this: I'll accept losing to Miami before I accept losing these fuck niggas in Clemson, bro.
That's real, cause fuck Clemson.
Yeah,
I think Miami is better than Clemson.
I think we are too.
We are.
So, yeah, get it done, Norvell, or else. That seat's gonna get warm.
Hey, high noon game, man. Gonna be fun.
But yeah, man, we appreciate y'all listening to another episode. We have more content. My boy Brad will be in Las Vegas. Brad, make sure you have the account. Make sure you post from the game some good stuff.
I will.
Hey, look on the bottom of the screen. Make sure you like and subscribe. We putting this great content out. Latest and greatest. We at
notifications on, so you know when we drop this content.
We here. Hey, I'm gonna be in Colorado. I'm gonna be in LA. I might be at a Rams game. Dre gonna be at different games. Corey might. We gonna be everywhere. We're gonna be everywhere. So just stay tuned in. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We on all podcast streaming platforms. We just like Coach Prime. We are not hard to find at all. We are not hard to find at all, bro. Not hard to find.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Tighten up, man. Act right. Follow us.
Talk your shit, Dave.
And on that note, we are out, bro. Dave, hit the music, bro.
Yes, sir.